Hey everyone, this is Tolan Peterson with MyFirstPlaceNorthwest.org. Today we're going to be talking about some different compromises that you may want to consider when looking for your first home. Because prices have risen over the last couple of years, as well as interest rates, a lot of our first-time homebuyers in the market right now are finding that homes are not as affordable as they were in the last 12 to 24 months. So a lot of our first-time homebuyers have been asking us, what do I do if I can't afford what I want? So there's a couple different things that you can consider. The reality of it is, guys, whether you're buying your first home or your fifth home, generally buyers are compromising in some way, shape, or form. The reason being is that there's no such thing as a perfect house. So you may be able to accomplish 98% of the things that you're looking for, but accomplishing 100% of the things you're looking for may be fairly difficult. So a couple of the different things that we'll talk about today are different locations. So you may be looking at in one specific geographic area. Expanding that search criteria may help you. Usually, the farther out you go, the more affordable homes become. So that may be a good option for you. A lot of people though feel like they want to be in a specific neighborhood either because the school district is where they want to be, or because it's walkable, or something of that nature. Maybe they grew up in that neighborhood, so they have a real kind of emotional connection to that neighborhood. A lot of people don't want to consider looking in other areas. So something else that you can consider are different property types. If you're dead set on living in a specific neighborhood, but you feel like a single family residence is outside of your price range, you can start looking at things like townhouses, maybe even condominiums. Some people, however, don't really want to consider different property types. So, if you're not willing to move out of a specific geographic area, or you're not willing to consider different property types, the third thing you can consider are condition, right? So maybe ideally in your perfect world, you'd buy a single family, completely remodeled, new kitchen, new bath, etc., etc. But you may feel like that's just a little bit out of your price range. So you may be able to accomplish, a single family in the neighborhood you want to be in, but take on something that maybe needs a kitchen and bath remodel, right? Something of this nature. We're not necessarily suggesting that you buy something with structural defects, more so just cosmetic stuff. Needs a new coat of paint, maybe some new carpet, etc., etc. Again, it may not be your ideal situation, but if you are having trouble fitting into that affordability box, condition is a good place to bend potentially. It's something that you can fix over the long run. Last thing we'll talk about are unfinished spaces. So a lot of people may want, say for instance, a 3-bedroom, 2-bath. A lot of times people are thinking ahead, right? Maybe they either have a small child or they're thinking about starting a family, and so they're not necessarily looking at what will work for us today, but will this still work for us in 5 years, 10 years? Which is a very good mindset to have. Real estate always has been and probably always will be a long-term investment. So kind of having a longer time frame is not a bad idea to kind of mold your purchase around. However, there may still be some flexibility there. If you have a small child, or maybe you're thinking about starting a family, so you feel like in the long run you want a 3-bedroom home, but 2-bedroom homes are really all that's in your price range. You may be able to find something that either has an unfinished attic space. Some of the older homes, at least in the greater Seattle area, have what we call half stories. So it just feels like a really large attic, essentially. No drywall and whatnot. But you can finish that out potentially to a 3rd bedroom. What you may find even more readily available to you are unfinished basements. A lot of 2-bedroom, 1-bath homes out there with a basement that's the same footprint as the main level. So that, opens a lot of doors for you. Adding a bedroom, bathroom, and a rec room later on down the road. So stepping into a 900 square foot house today may work for you, but may not work for you, 5-10 years from now. However, if you have that unfinished basement, you can essentially double the size of your home from 900 square feet to 1,800 square feet. I think a lot of people feel like 1,800 square feet is a good size house to raise a family in. So Again, guys, there's a lot of different things that you can compromise on when it comes to buying your first home. These are just a couple suggestions to kind of get you to wrap your mind around setting priorities. Really, what are your top 2, 3, 4 priorities, and then what are you kind of flexible on? It's very good to have this conversation with anybody else that's going to be involved in the purchase, kind of at the beginning of the process before you even start looking at homes, and then kind of revisiting that conversation as you progress in the transaction. If again you are finding that you're not necessarily able to afford what you're really looking for, so again, kind of think about it as a long-term perspective, not a short-term perspective, as in what do I want today, but what will work for me in the long run. So anyways, guys, that's all we have for today. Thank you so much for stopping by. As always, we appreciate it. If you found any value in the information that we provided today, or you'd like to just get a broader overall perspective of the home buying process in general, please go to our website at www.myfirstplacenw.org. Go to our calendar reservations page, sign up for one of our free workshops. Thanks so much. We'll catch you next time.